There's a quiet thief that sneaks into the body as we age. You don't see it, you don't feel it at first, but it chips away at your health day by day. This thief is chronic inflammation. It doesn't just make your joints ache or your skin flare. It can creep into one of the most vital filters you own, your kidneys. When your kidneys are inflamed, they struggle to clear waste, your creatinine levels rise, and your energy fades like a dimming light bulb. The tragedy is that many people don't even realize what's happening until it's advanced. But here's the hopeful part. Food, simple food, can be one of our greatest shields. I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Channel Vital Science for Seniors. Today, I want to share 10 foods that have been shown to calm inflammation and help protect your kidneys so you can keep living fully. I remember a patient of mine named Margaret, a retired teacher in her early 70s. She loved to cook, but she was terrified when she learned her kidney function was slipping and her creatinine was climbing higher than it should. One of the first changes we made was simple: swapping out butter and margarine for extra virgin olive oil. Why? Because olive oil is more than just a cooking fat. It's medicine in a bottle. Inside it are antioxidants, little bodyguards called polyphenols, and a special fat known as oleic acid. Think of free radicals, those unstable molecules that stir up inflammation, as tiny sparks flying around in your body. The compounds in olive oil act like a fire extinguisher, calming those sparks before they damage kidney tissue. Research even shows olive oil can lower blood pressure, which is crucial because high blood pressure is a villain that silently strains the kidneys. A 2020 study confirmed this effect in both healthy and high-risk individuals. For someone like Margaret, 1 to 2 tablespoons a day, used to sauté vegetables, drizzle over fish, or finish roasted broccoli, was enough to make her feel she was nourishing her kidneys with every bite. It wasn't restriction, it was empowerment, adding flavor and protection all at once. When you open a jar of turmeric, the golden powder almost glows, like sunlight trapped in spice form. That golden color comes from curcumin, the compound that makes turmeric such a powerful ally against inflammation. I often explain it this way to my patients. Inflammation is like a loud alarm system in the body. When it won't turn off, it keeps the immune system attacking even healthy tissues, including the delicate filters inside your kidneys. Curcumin is like the skilled technician who comes in, finds the faulty wires, and gently quiets that alarm. One of my patients, Harold, had arthritis pain alongside early kidney disease. He began adding half a teaspoon of turmeric to his morning oatmeal and sometimes stirred it into warm milk with a pinch of black pepper. Within weeks, he noticed not just less stiffness in his joints, but also an improvement in his energy. Science backs this up. Studies have shown curcumin can actually switch off inflammatory messengers and neutralize damaging molecules that raise oxidative stress. For most people, 1 to 1.5 teaspoons daily is both safe and effective, though it's always wise to check with a doctor if you have other health issues. For Harold, this simple golden spice became a daily ritual, helping protect his kidneys while soothing the rest of his body. If olive oil is medicine in a bottle, garlic is medicine in a clove. Its sharp aroma and flavor come from a compound called allicin, and that compound works like a shield against both oxidative stress and inflammation. I had a gentleman named Luis who came to me worried about his rising blood pressure and the early signs of kidney disease. He loved food but thought eating for his kidneys meant bland meals. I suggested he start chopping fresh garlic into his soups and vegetables. Not only did the flavor transform his dishes, but over time his blood pressure eased down and his kidney numbers stabilized. Garlic doesn't just fight inflammation, it helps reduce cholesterol and improve circulation, keeping blood flowing smoothly to those fragile kidney filters. Imagine your arteries as highways. Garlic helps keep them clear of traffic jams, so the kidneys aren't starved of oxygen and nutrients. Studies have shown aged garlic extract and garlic oil supplements can also provide benefits if fresh cloves feel too strong. For many people, just 1 or 2 cloves a day is enough. The key is to crush or chop them and let them rest a minute before cooking, which activates the allicin. For Luis, that small ritual became a source of joy. Knowing every flavorful bite was also a step toward protecting his kidneys. Black pepper is something we often take for granted, just a quick twist of the grinder at the dinner table. But inside those tiny black beads lies a powerful compound called piperine. Piperine has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects, almost like a bodyguard patrolling the bloodstream, looking for signs of trouble. On its own, it helps calm the fires of inflammation, including the kind that can quietly injure kidney tissue. But where black pepper really shines is in partnership. When paired with turmeric, it boosts the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%. It's as if piperine opens the door wide so turmeric's healing compounds can step right in and get to work. One of my patients, Eleanor, loved sprinkling pepper over her roasted vegetables and soups. When she learned this simple habit not only added flavor, but also enhanced turmeric's effect, she said it felt like discovering a secret recipe for healing. I did remind her, and I remind you too, that moderation matters. A pinch here, a teaspoon there, is enough to gain the benefits without overwhelming your system. There is one caution. Piperine can interact with certain medications by slowing their breakdown. So if you take prescriptions, talk with your doctor first. For Eleanor, the black pepper mill on her table became more than a seasoning. It was a tool for kidney protection. When I talk about salmon, I often describe it as a gentle healer from the sea. Its soft pink flesh is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, the kind of fats that soothe inflammation like cool water over a burn. For the kidneys, which are often under silent assault from chronic inflammation, omega-3s can be a lifeline. They help calm the immune system's overreaction and support blood vessels, reducing the strain on those delicate kidney filters. I once worked with a retired nurse named Joanne. She was struggling with both high blood pressure and early kidney disease, and she felt exhausted by the long list of foods she thought she had to avoid. When we introduced salmon twice a week, roasted with herbs and just a squeeze of lemon, she was surprised at how satisfying it felt, not just for her taste buds, but for her spirit. Over time, her blood pressure came down, and she felt less puffy and more energetic. Salmon is also rich in high-quality protein, which is important when your kidneys need support. Unlike heavier meats, salmon offers the building blocks for muscle without as much stress on the kidneys. And here's a hidden bonus. Compared to other proteins, salmon is relatively low in potassium, making it friendlier for a diet for kidney disease. Berries are nature's jewels, bright, sweet, and packed with healing power. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. Each one is loaded with antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their rich colors. I tell my patients to imagine anthocyanins as tiny repair crews that rush through the body, patching up damage from oxidative stress and calming inflammation before it can scar the kidneys. One woman I cared for, Mrs. Patel, loved sweets but had been told to avoid them because of her kidney condition. When she discovered that a small bowl of berries could satisfy her cravings while also protecting her kidneys, her eyes lit up with relief. "Doctor," she said, "it feels like I can still enjoy life without hurting myself." And she could. Berries are naturally low in potassium compared to many other fruits, blueberries and raspberries especially, making them safe choices for many with kidney disease. Beyond the kidneys, berries also help the heart, and since heart and kidney health are so closely linked, every bite carries double protection. Mrs. Patel began blending blueberries into yogurt, sprinkling raspberries on her oatmeal, and savoring strawberries in the afternoon. Slowly, she felt more energetic, her blood sugar steadied, and her kidney function held strong. For her, berries were not just dessert. They were hope served in a bowl. Pineapple carries a sweetness that feels like sunshine on the tongue, but it also hides a powerful secret inside. Along with its high vitamin C content, which acts like a shield against oxidative stress, pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain. Bromelain works a bit like a natural cleanup crew, breaking down proteins and reducing swelling and inflammation. For kidneys that are already working hard to filter waste, having that extra support can make a real difference. I remember a gentleman named Arthur who always craved something bright and refreshing after meals. He was discouraged when he thought most fruits were off limits because of potassium. When I showed him that a cup of fresh pineapple chunks has only about 180 milligrams of potassium, far lower than bananas or oranges, he was thrilled. "So I don't have to give up dessert?" he asked with a grin. Not at all. In fact, that pineapple became his favorite evening ritual. It's worth noting that fresh pineapple is best. Canned versions can be fine too, but only if they're packed in water or their own juice, not syrup. Draining them helps lower sugar even further. For Arthur, that golden fruit did more than quench his cravings. It gave him comfort that he was protecting his kidneys while still enjoying something delicious and life-affirming every single day. Soybeans are often underestimated, but they can be a remarkable ally for kidney health. Unlike animal proteins, which sometimes put extra strain on the kidneys, soy provides what we call a complete plant protein, meaning it contains all the essential building blocks your body needs. Think of it as a softer, gentler way of nourishing your muscles and tissues without overburdening those hard-working filters in your kidneys. I once worked with a woman named Clara who had been told she should cut back on red meat because her creatinine was edging upward. She worried about losing strength if she ate less protein. When we introduced tofu, soy milk, and edamame into her meals, she felt reassured that she could still stay strong. Over the months, her cholesterol dropped, her blood pressure improved, and her lab results showed her kidneys were under less strain. Research backs up what Clara experienced. A 2014 study found that soy protein not only improved cholesterol, but also helped lower creatinine and phosphorus levels in patients with chronic kidney disease. That's powerful evidence that food choices really can protect kidney function. Most people can safely enjoy up to 50 grams of soy protein daily, though it's always wise to check with a doctor. For Clara, soy wasn't just a substitute, it was a new beginning, showing her that eating with kidney disease could still be joyful and nourishing. There's something almost luxurious about a handful of red grapes, the glossy skin, the burst of sweetness. But inside each grape lies a powerful compound called resveratrol, along with a host of other antioxidants. These compounds act like vigilant guardians, protecting your cells from damage and easing inflammation that can silently harm the kidneys. I recall a patient named James who was on dialysis 3 times a week. His energy was low, and he felt like life was slipping away. We spoke about small ways he could still support his health, and red grapes became part of that plan. He began eating a small bowl each afternoon. It wasn't a cure, but it gave him something joyful that also worked in his favor. Interestingly, a 2006 study found that grape juice improved cholesterol in dialysis patients, lowering the harmful LDL and raising the protective HDL. More recent animal studies suggest red grapes may even help with proteinuria, the leakage of protein in the urine that signals kidney damage. For James, grapes were more than a snack. They were a symbol that even in the midst of treatment, he could still make choices to protect his body. Low in potassium compared to many fruits, they fit easily into a kidney-friendly diet. Every juicy bite carried both comfort and quiet strength. Broccoli might not have the glamour of salmon or the sweetness of pineapple, but don't let its humble appearance fool you. Inside those green florets lives a compound called sulforaphane, one of the body's most powerful natural defenders. Think of sulforaphane as a switch that turns on your body's own fire brigade, a pathway known as NRF2, which helps cells fight off oxidative stress and calm inflammation. For kidneys under attack from chronic disease, that defense system can be a lifesaver. I remember a woman named Teresa who never liked vegetables much, but after her kidney doctor warned her about high creatinine, she felt desperate for change. We started small, just half a cup of steamed broccoli with dinner a few nights a week. She dressed it up with lemon, garlic, and a drizzle of olive oil. Over time, her taste buds adjusted, and so did her energy. Her potassium levels remained safe, and her kidney function stabilized. What encouraged Teresa most was knowing broccoli wasn't just filling her plate, it was actively protecting her kidneys. Studies from 2021 suggest sulforaphane could slow the damaging effects of chronic kidney disease by reducing inflammation at the cellular level. For Teresa, broccoli became more than a side dish. It was a daily reminder that even the simplest foods can change the course of health. As we've walked through these 10 foods together, I hope you've seen that protecting your kidneys isn't about restriction alone. It's about adding powerful, healing choices to your plate. Olive oil, turmeric, garlic, salmon, berries, and the rest aren't just ingredients. They're allies in calming inflammation and giving your kidneys a fighting chance. If you're facing high creatinine or worried about kidney disease, remember that small, consistent changes can build a brighter future. I'm Dr. Brian, and I want you to know it's never too late to reclaim your health, your strength, and your joy. You truly deserve it.